Hi, Raiders. We're ready. There's no back soon screen. Don't worry about it. Get in the giveaway. What's going on? Unite Mike's Mayhem Season 3, week number 2. We have had 2 amazing games so far. We are looking at the finals right now. Amaterasu versus GT. Both winners in their respective games. Very close one in that last one. Dude Snacks, I'm excited, but could you please talk about our sponsor?
Yeah, first off, shout out to the Guac Bowl and Lutano bringing everybody through. We appreciate you, of course. But supporting this grassroots tournament scene here for Unite Mikes is Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat right here on the shirt. You can check it out. Go to kindoffitkindofat.com. Check out their merchandise, 10% off using the promo code Unite Mikes. Of course, support them, supports us, so we can keep doing this event. They're the ones putting all the money up for the prizing for these teams, so we can do this without having to worry about, figuring out logistically the financials on our side. So they're a great sponsor. They believe in us. I love their product. I've been wearing it for a long time before this partnership even happened. So please, do at least us the smallest favor. Check it out. If you see anything that you like, give it a spin. Unite Mike's 10% off.
True. They make great stuff. They got Snorlax and Munchlax on the back a bunch of their shirts. They look sick. All right, the 2 teams that we have competing right now, Dude Snacks, Amaterasu and GT. Of course, that is a similar sounding group of words because in the March finals, these 2 teams went at it in an absolute barn burner of a series. Amaterasu got the better of them that time, but this time GT looking for a bit of revenge. Angry emoji.
Yeah, listen, they boxed on the, in Madison Square Garden, right, on Saturday night. That's where they boxed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they didn't get it all out of their system. So what do we got? Wednesday night street fight here on Unite Mike's Mayhem, and it's going to be Amaterasu GT squaring off yet again. GT, bit of a swan song for them. As their team is disbanding, as their players are going a different direction. Amaterasu not going to allow them to have their moment in the sun. They want that money. So that's what we're about to see tonight.
I love that you described it like a street fight because that is absolutely the energy I want for Unite Mike's Mayhem. I want like after dark, alleyway, basketball hoop on either side, indie rock band playing as the credits roll, our teenager. Anyway, it's awesome and I love Unite Mike's Mayhem and I know you all do too. Thank you so much for joining. Speaking of Lutano and the raid, by the way, TTV are waiting in our final week in March 29th for the competitors to arrive for season 3 of Mayhem. So far, Team YouTube won last week, so they are the first team qualified for those finals. And after that, one of these 2 teams will be qualified as well. Now, Dude Snacks, before we get into this game, we of course will need to do a coin flip. Can we get one? Heads is going to be Amaterasu, tails is going to be GT.
All right. The coin is flipping right now, Zoinks. Let me take a look. Tails again.
All right.
3 consecutive tails in a row.
All right. So that means that GT will have the choice of first or second pick.
Psyche, you absolute legend. If you can hear me out there, let's do let's give away a Zacian code while we got everybody in here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're giving away a bunch. We're good. Also, huge shout out to our 2 support staff behind the scenes. It's not just Dude Snacks and I looking absolutely marvelous, which we do all the time. We do have 2 incredibly good looking folks helping us out as well. We have Gamma as our observer. That's who is working the amazing cameras in matches, and Psyche helping us out on the moderation front, giving away some licenses, also just helping out in the moderation department, predictions, all that good stuff. So thank you so much to our 2 amazing people who are lending a hand to Unite Mike's Mayhem.
Big shout out to them. Everybody that knows anything about our particular broadcast is how just defunct we are whenever we try and do multiple things at once. So having them on board to support us is just phenomenal. So shout outs to them. You all are absolute legends, and we don't deserve you. So there you go. Bang.
Not at all. All right. Well, the teams are in the lobby. The sides have been determined, and we are going to be going into game momentarily. I need to know, Dude Snacks, who's winning this thing? Is it a repeat of March Finals, or does GT get the revenge game?
Listen. It's hard. I mean, Amaterasu looks incredibly formidable right now. Forks up, fork 'em, whatever they want to go with as their moniker here. They looking to do that to GT. In my heart of hearts, because I love so many players on GT, personally. I've gotten to stack with them, spend some time in Discord chats with them.
Sure.
I would really love, if this is truly their last event, I would love for them to win it.
I completely agree. The storyline definitely befitting of that, but let's get into it. Our first ban of Mew from Amaterasu, targeted directly, of course, at Stockings. Also regrets a mean Mew in their own right. It's not something we can discredit at all, but taking that power pick away means that we're probably going to be looking at an Espeon pick for GT, comboed with something else, probably a Dodrio if the record serves.
I like eyeing up this Scyther. I mean, that really gives you a powerful Pokemon, but also cuts off Nudo. So, I mean, two huge octane, like high octane picks at a GT. You love to see it. Unfortunately, Amaterasu has a whole bunch of tools in their toolkit, so we're going to see where they go from here.
Yeah, it's actually interesting to see these two schools of thought play out. The support and tank core from Amaterasu being drafted initially, but on GT side, instead drafting towards their damage core, trying to get those power picks. Trainer still comes away with the Glaceon, though. Espeon and Scyther, two strong picks. Espo bringing in the hoop of this game yet again. And an egg, Noob, Blissey. Not a very tanky frontline by any means, but a lot of healing going to be available for the side of GT.
Yeah, they're going to need it because it's going to be on the back of regrets and stockings to really cripple this Amaterasu team and catch good resets. So the onus is definitely, look, regrets and stockings know how to get KOs. It's going to be up to Espo and Eggnoob to see how many they can get before they get KO'd themselves, and they are going to be the linchpin of this GT squad's success.
Ooh, the counter draft of the Dodrio. Lakota not getting their pick last, but they may have to swap it up. Lakota well known for these melee brawlers, has played Aegislash, Lucario, Dodrio, and we are bringing in the big buzzy boy this time. Buzzwole is going to enter the battlefield. Okay, I haven't seen Lakota on this one in a minute, but two of the three bug Pokemon available in Unite have been selected on the side of GT. Crustl's the third one, if anybody was curious.
Just in case. Is it Weedle? It's a Weedle. GT coming through with Buzzwole. Those are big muscles. We got two brawlers here. Yeetfan going to be playing far forward, and it's going to be up to Lakota and Yeetfan to sort out. Great secure, you have to say, out of both teams. Stockings on the Espeon, and Yeetfan, if they go with the Wicked Blow, Urshifu, that single strike Urshifu, they've got it in spades too.
Yeah, damage available. I'm excited to see Nudo's choice on the Dodrio. I mean, crazy the storylines around Nudo. They have been known to pick up this game and just hyper grind one Pokemon at a time. They pick one and they grind that Pokemon and become one of the best in the world at it. However, on this roster of Amaterasu, they've really had to shake that up. Nudo has all of a sudden become one of the more flexible picks on this roster, and Trainer and Yeet fans sort of sticking to their one or two selections. So Nudo really shaking up their own gameplay headed into Season 2 has been a really exciting storyline for Amaterasu, and I think it's one of the benefits that's really putting them as one of the best teams in NA right now.
I agree completely. Some like little sub game that I want to point out that Amaterasu played, picking Glaceon early does something very important, which is naturally cut off Dodrio from the other team and Sableye as well, because Icy Wind can track those down and really limits those characters. So that's a great way to get a great strong Pokemon in your pocket and allows you the flexibility to also kind of pseudo ban it out from the other team.
I love that call. Lakota does have to make a punch. Not enough damage to get Nudo. Unfortunate timing for them. And JL's actually able to ditch mid-tall grass at some point and go get some scores of their own. One stack goes in for Lakota, but Nudo keeping up the pace with them.
Great secure out of Buzzwole early, and that's exactly what Lakota is going to look to leverage here as they are looking to stack up as well. They're trying to catch bodies, though. Comfy circling around that Doduo, keeping it up. That noodle neck bird looking a little fragile early, but the Comfy's there for the support.
Good call by Nudo, playing it very safe when you're just on Doduo. You also know that that Regrets is clear is incredibly fast on Scyther. They will be able to gank very, very early if they so desire. Regrets charging in, Roland brought down to very low HP, and the evolution iframes helping out Trainer a bit.
Yeah, now Trailer's going to be able to pressure the other way if they want it, right? Key moments here is getting Phantom to Trevenant, of course, but Trainer being there, and if GT overextended to be able to Icy Wind them down is, of course, key. Trainer reels back to the central. That's where you want them, as here comes that single strike Urshifu Yeetfan looking to do some damage. Maybe punch a pillow in half. We'll see what happens if Eggnoob gets a little too froggy.
Only one person can punch a pillow in half. It's not Urshifu, it's Yeetfan. I've seen them do it on the Twitter clips. Yeetfan gets a ton of damage early, and it actually clears the space for Roland to get yet another stack in for them. X-Speed gets them away from stalking Shysock. They dodge that one by mere millimeters, and they're back in safe to health.
Regrets getting a ton of that experience in the middle, and they're going to look to bail out. Trainer seals that. Look at the team collapse on top of Trainer. Huge KO, make it 2. Yeetfan goes down. Holy smokes. GT with the call and engage of the century. And that's 3 KOs in the hands of Regrets. And Amaterasu's going to regret hanging around there because they got eviscerated. Goodbye, Rolling. I don't even know what you were doing. I would have hidden the grass and waited till they left and hope they don't see you. Holy smokes. Great job early game by GT. Way to put the pedal to the metal.
Crazy play by Stockings there, by the way. I thought Stockings was just filling in for this team. The coordination there was incredible. Regrets did not take their hand off the goal score button and allowed Stockings to turn and stun the Trevenant immediately, knowing that they'd be able to score because of that. Really great coordination by GT in this early game, especially at the bottom path. Both Regrets and Stockings are absolutely popping off. Lakoting on this Buzzwole, having a tough fight against Nuno, but superpowers here, not quite enough damage to find the knockout, though.
It's rare that you get isolated out by a Dodrio and you live to tell the tale, and not only that, make them escape with a sliver of no. GT catching all the bodies here. Catching all the bodies are coming through. Scyther now comes out, but it's the Hoopa that seals it up for GT. That's 2 players down, and they're moving forward. Espo not shying away from stealing more objectives. Glaceon Unite comes out. Trainer's going to try and use that in leverage. Scyther might go down here, but that goal zone's gone. That is a healthy exchange for GT, and as long as they just peel back now, they're in a great shape as GT is already putting pressure in the Regieleki.
If Glaceon's Unite move wasn't strong enough already, it also slows, and that's a tough spot for Scyther to be in. Immediately gets rocked there by Trainer, who's uncharacteristically only at that level 9. I feel like Trainer, one of those inhuman junglers that's always at crazy levels at this 6-minute, 5-minute mark point. But they are still formidable at that level 10. They're going to be showing up, but Stockings keeping pace is definitely the big concern here. Regieleki untouched so far, but both teams have stacked up around this top path, and they're ready to rumble.
Dodrio looking for an engage. They're carrying the Comfy. They see Eggnoob. They push far forward, but guess who's caught out by the by Yeet, though? They get chunked huge. Comfy hops on for a ride and gets some good HP. Buzzwole's caught on the backside. They're pushing far forward. Can they get the conversion? KO. The Unite move comes out. There's one. Snuffed out as the Urshifu. Blistus is just in time, and they're in the flower fields forever. We're battling in the tall grass here. We're in the swamps now. Espeon Unite comes out, and it buys so much time. Buzzwole does bite the dust here. Comfy getting credit, but that Unite from Glaceon comes out, but the rest of the team has been blinked down with the big-time Hoopa unbound as they're crashing on this goal zone. Yeetfan lands just in time to stop this goal zone from being broken, but GT putting tons of unique pressure all over this map.
What a crazy cool play call. And now they're in that bottom path with only about 20 seconds left until the basement Reggie arrives. So sure, Regieleki will go down, but Buzzwole and Scyther have fantastic burn. They should be able to deal with this no problem. But I say no problem. Regieleki on the side of Amaterasu with all of this burst damage, Glaceon, Dodrio, Urshifu, it could still be a concern. Caught unawares, Regieleki can find value. They are going to be able to rotate down. 2 members from GT are going to have to defend. That leaves only 3 on the side of GT to actually show focus on the Registeel.
Trainer able to take some buffs here on their way in as GT is squaring up. Roland's playing very far forward. The Trevenant's there with the Trainer support. The Icy Wind Glaceon putting tons of damage in, and the KOs are raining. Comfy gets credit for 1, but Dodrio did the heavy lifting there. Glaceon going to take the Registeel, and they're going to use this to push. Do they get another KO? They do. Blissey goes down. Buzzwole trying to hold it down. Trevenant Unite comes out, and they're dusted with a big-time Wicked Blow because it goes wicked hard, and that goal zone is on the doorstep, and it is gone.
I'm sorry, I've never heard you say wicked hard like that. That was incredible. Yeah, great call out. Deuce Snakes are always a legend. 222 to 240. All of a sudden, this game is kept quite a bit closer. A great little push by the squad of Amaterasu to keep this one a bit tighter. Roland, hide it in tall grass quite a bit this time. You said they should do it more often. I suppose they already heard you and are trying to implement that game strategy. The shutdown, though, as Nudo cruises across the map and actually baits out a Buzzwole Unite.
Well, Trevenant has definitely been sussed out, and Rolling It is trying to run away here as they're putting tons of pressure on her. They're going to get KO'd. They are. Blissey gets that one. The Wicked Blow getting charged up by the Urshifu. I don't think it's found its mark, but the scrapping is happening up top as there's two players trying to handle this Dodrio. As the reset happen, they do. They blink out. They get their HP back, and now they have to concern themselves with the Regieleki up top. Regrets just trying to buy time until the Urshifu can get dusted in tandem with Stockings, you absolute legend. They crash land through, get the KO. The hyperspace highway between the portals is open, and GT rotating very quickly.
Yeah, they're bouncing back and forth, but they still are playing from behind. Regrets gets a lot of damage, but they in turn get schmacked by that Dodrio Comfey combo. It's going quite ridiculous right now. Trainer at the door 14. They are back on their ridiculous level of pace as Eggnoob is deleted off the face of this earth. Regieleki will get knocked out. A earlier Regieleki by all means, but Espo actually looking for the steal. Not going to grab it this time.
No, now GT needs to get their experience. They need to catch this Regieleki, and they need to figure out if they even want to show up for the basement Reggie here. It looks like Regrets is pulling up early for GT to see what they can do. Regrets, what am I talking about? I can't believe I got that right. I thought every fiber of my being told me I said that, and I was completely wrong. So there you go.
Good. Never again will we have Regrets and Relentless on the same broadcast. It makes it too tough. Nudo getting a lot of damage in as JL is able to just fire off those auto attacks. Urshifu able to one-hit knock out that Registeel. No problems, but GT in the meantime getting some scoring pressure in the top path. Now that vision is gone, but the fight looks like it's going to kick off early on as Nudo gets a huge knockout early.
Huge knockout is understatement. Regrets definitely regrets getting into there early. They're moving forward. Espo bubbles through. Woodhammer doesn't hit a single thing. The Hoop is unbound. They're pushing far forward. Oh my goodness, the Buzzwole's low. The Dodrio's heating up. Poor Stockings gets eviscerated. The Unite move comes out. They catch two. Are they going to be able to convert on anybody? It looks like everybody's catching the smoke now. Glaceon's gone. Espo's holding it down. They picked up the Bliss Assistance. Can they convert? Can they hold out? Nudo's on the chase, and Nudo sorts it out. There's three beaks there. Zoinks, all three of them found the heart of GT. Espo, and now they're all down, and Amaterasu can position around this objective.
We do have a Unite move from the Scyther. Eggnoob, unfortunately, does not have the Bliss Assistance to pop off with it, but Stockings can Psychic Solaire and combo that with the Scyther. That looks like GT's only angle to victory. The tough part is I don't know if they have an answer to this Dodrio whatsoever. Nudo has been popping off all game thanks to the pocket of JL.
Oh, Regrets came right back through. I thought they were going to catch their Drio. They're pushing far forward. Big time Woodhammer, and they're using that. The Drill Peg is huge. It catches so many. Are they going to blink it? Oh, no! The Rayquaza takes out the Buzzwole. There's three players down for GT. Amaterasu sees that, and they're tipping over the glass of milk, and they're spilling it all over the table. GT trying to hold it down. Four players down, and it's just poor Espo. They're scrambling. They have no idea what to do. Are they going to be able to clutch this thing out for the team as the rest of the Amaterasu squad is stretching this lead out like taffy? Can Espo get the hyperspace hole like an absolute legend? No, the Urshifu seals it up, and rightfully so. Big time Wicked Blow as Espo's fighting in the face of this big bear, but they're going to catch big time fists. The Hoopa is definitely not unbound. They are in Chibi mode, and now Amaterasu has a big time lead.
Amaterasu is going to be able to hold on to this one by all means necessary, if my opinion is going to be correct. Buzzwole unites, hits nothing as Nudo and Trainer get the run back. The damage numbers from these two Pokemon at this stage in the game are ridiculous as Trainer just keeps padding the stats, dodges one SP on attack, and looks for another knockout. Espo able to keep up some damage. They finally put a knockout of their own up there, but in the end, that's going to be Amaterasu starting this one off with a game win.
Listen, Glaceon getting knocked out there. Credit to GT, but really it was the clay doll that sorted them out in the end. That was the only way. That was the only way Amaterasu was going to get KO'd there, was by the wild Pokemon hanging out on the map. Holy smokes, Rayquaza taking out Lakoding. Big time energy.
Lakoding literally put in the most rock and a hard place situation I've seen in a minute. They had to hang out in the portal and wait for the reset, but they knew an attack was coming from Glaceon, so they tried to eject button away, but they eject button into a Rayquaza attack. So I mean, realistically, there was just doom all around. An amazing game on the board for Amaterasu. Great plays from Nudo. He was truly impressive to me on this Dodrio. Not many answers to that Pokemon on the side of GT in their draft. 69k from Trainer, 55 from Nudo. You fed with a small number of 36 for sure, but hey, they got a Registeel. They punched it real good.
They punched it real good. And yeah, that was a great point. Lakoding was, out of the frying pan into the fryer, out of the fire into the pit of a volcano. I mean, there was just no escaping there. That was just a crime scene for them. A decent look from GT. they gotta bounce back in a big way here.
Yeah.
I really feel like they had some brilliant macro play across the map there with using Espo's Rings Unbound to pull the team, make some unique pushes. I just think that second basement Reggie, where Amaterasu collapsed the tier 1 goal zone in the bottom path, was it almost like cut the legs out under GT. They were really strong there. I'm not exactly sure how all that shook down, but it was like in an instant. Wow, they got ran down despite really having a reasonable control over the game.
Yeah, good call. Sorry, I was handling something on the moderating end of things, but I think you're right. The control of the game they had was just absolutely ridiculous. Now, you mentioned you'd like to see some changes headed into game 2. GT had some reasonable fights in that early game, but in the late game, we were looking a little tough. Dodrio, specifically for me, was the call out of just going absolutely wild. GT in drafting phase, anything that you think they could clean up headed into game number 2?
I don't want to see anything cleaned up, but if this is going to be your last game playing as a collective unit, I want to see some of the, old time bangers, right? I want to see Lacoading on Lucario. I want to see Stockings on Mew. I love Egnoob's Blissey. I really do. Espo on, Hoopa is a great pick, of course, but I would love to see them on Hoopa or Comfy. I mean, they have some phenomenal players, and I just want to see kind of like all the greatest hits out of GT right now, because I want them to have fun. I want them to win, and I want them to play those things for my own personal selfishness. There you go.
I'm right there with you on a few of those, though. I actually do think that Lucario doesn't play terribly into what Amaterasu is trying to do. Maybe if Yeet Fan does bring out the Decidueye, all of a sudden you're more concerned. But right now, I think there are some good answers. I would like GT to take away Trainer's Glaceon. That I specifically would really like. I think that needs to happen. Amaterasu is unfortunately not letting Roxy have Mew. I'm sorry, folks. The hashtags have fallen on deaf ears.
But Esposito is getting Comfy, which is not a bad secondary prize here. But that means Espeon and Scyther is going to the hands of Amaterasu. You cannot let them get Glaceon either, I don't think. I think you're exactly right on that. If I'm GT, I'm choosing probably that and a Dodrio for ourselves. Just get some absolute bangers in there.
Yeah, could not agree more. Espeon and Scyther. Okay, so Nudo's Scyther being selected regrets not getting this Pokemon. I think it's pretty big. Regrets has been showing off on this Pokemon all night, and Nudo counterpicking it, trying to showcase that they are also a very solid Scyther player.
I love the wall ability here of Eggnoob, going to be able to really cut off the pathing of Amaterasu through any real reasonable gate on the map. Eggnoob great at stitching those in. So I like that pick. Eggnoob also known for Eggnoob, just literally known for everything at this point.
They are one of the most reliable defender players in the lane phase, and then the team fights that they can kind of take hold of and win on that defender pick are nothing short of legendary. As a defender player, you often think that okay, I see what's going on. You often think that those Pokemon are more of the supporting style, and okay, later on I'm going to talk about this. Sylveon, Talonflame, the final 2 selections for the side of GT. GT likes this red winged bird, and it can pop off. It certainly can. Trainer and Trainer and Yeet Fan are going to be on targets you could land on, but you need to break those passives first.
Yeah, the good news is Talonflame can really only function, in my opinion, if you have Comfy on your team. You can take the hula hoop for a ride, and it allows you to actually have the opportunity to escape. Whereas more naturally, or more what we've seen leading up to this kind of innovation of Comfy being put in the mix, is you Brave Bird or you fly into the back line, and then somebody sneezes on you, and your run is over. So it's nice to see that Comfy gives just a hair more sustain, going to allow that engagement to hang out. Of course, with the eject button as well, going to help there. So I really hope this pick, flexes out, because I personally love Talonflame. I've always enjoyed playing that character.
Dupesnacks, I know that you are a really solid tank player as well as you are a Talonflame player. I know you've kind of went through your phases, but have you played a bunch of Trevenant in this current metagame that we're in right now?
So as soon as I got my green badge with Mamoswine, I started playing Trevenant, and Woodhammer Pain Split is my jam right now.
It's so fun. Now, as a Woodhammer player, you know that prediction game in high level play is something that you have to be on point with. And when you were trying to predict a Dodrio dash and a Talonflame fly landing, Roland is going to have their work cut out for them. Because if you can get a Woodhammer stun there, it's ridiculous. If you can call that out, right? If you can call when they're going to dash in, when they're going to make that dive play, and you find that big stun, it's ridiculous. You basically locked up that knockout. But it is a slow animation to come out, a long cast time, if you will, and the divers are going to be trying to play around it. If Roland can pop off here, I think that Amaterasu could have this one in the bag, but it's a tough matchup to pull off regardless.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind to see the Horn Leech Woodhammer combo, because you can actually Horn Leech first to settle down that Pokemon that's got a lot of movement.
Yeah, put him
you know
in
what I mean?
timeout. I hear you.
A little bit easier to hit, and then you can line up that big time Woodhammer and hope the rest of the team can collapse on them after the Horn Leech. Some points already raining in for the Doduo, picking up the Comfey, of course, and Nudo wants that action, and they get it. That is a quick sliced up bird as they're pushing far forward. Espo might go down to the Chansey. Oh, never mind. Making an icy win, sealing that up. Lakoding is back. They're going to pick up a berry. They're defending this goal zone. Couple low HP players on Amaterasu. Of course, I say that, and the trainers picked right back up. The points go in for the Chansey. JL just getting those points in, and the Doduo goes down. The Comfey pulls up, and I'm not sure what they can do in the face of 3.
Oh, this top path is doomed all of a sudden. Amaterasu getting every objective they could have asked for, and then some. I mean, that Fletchling got both buffs, left the Baltoise, and headed up into path, so remaining as a Fletchling. Tough look for Regrets, not able to get much value there. Espo does jump onto Lakoding, able to dodge away from Nudo's executes, and they are still available. Maybe Dodrio can start to turn things in top. Meanwhile, in that central area, Trainer has decided to take advantage of 4 Regrets only being at 5, try to chase them down. Lakoding there for the backup, and Lakoding actually gets the red buff.
Good collapse by GT to support the team here. KO goes down. Unfortunately, they really need to get this one back. Lakoding needs to close the door on this Pokemon. They cannot let Trainer get out of here. But JL there just in time with those soft-boiled eggs to get that HP up. And GT is left scrambling with sand falling in between their fingers. Nothing to show for it.
Thank you so much for the raid, by the way, Vital Mick. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Raiders. Unite Mike's Season 3, Week number 2. Grand Finals well underway. Amaterasu up 1-0 against GT. Trader getting really low. Stockings taking that 1v1, and the boosted auto secures it.
That's what I like to see. Stockings needs to get fed a little bit. They need to take over this game. They're a high-quality player with high-octane plays, and I'd like to see them flex them out. The team needs it now. Yeetfan getting stitched up by one of those amazing walls from Eggnoob, exactly what you want to see, and a good conversion KO from GT. That's what they need to do. They need to not try to take too many big bites. They just need to chip away, chip away, chip away. Get what they can when the opportunity presents itself. Comfey hitching a ride, getting out of the KO zone. That's huge. Dodrio going to try to engage. Who can Lakoding find? Woodhammers come through, takes tons of experience away from GT there. The hyper voice doesn't hit anybody, and now Amaterasu is in this bottom path in full force.
Yeah, crazy good defender play there by Roland, getting up every single wild objective and timing the Woodhammers just right to make sure they find those last hits. Lakoding sitting around that top path, seeing if they can find anybody to kidnap. Trainer, one of the best targets to do so, but instead jumps on Nudo, who immediately damages back in return, and they find the knockout.
That knockout is huge. 2 players down. It's going to be up to this Talonflame to see what they can do here. But look how far out they're spaced because all of Amaterasu is playing a bully. Oh, man. Huge catch by Roland right onto Regrets. Doesn't even let them have a chance at it. And now Amaterasu is all over his goal zone. Rolling over half HP. Glaceon gets a K on the Sylveon. Gets just absolutely eviscerating their EV counterpart here. Amaterasu going to leave that goal zone standing. Not going to give any of that really good comeback experience that a team can get once you break that outer goal zone.
Yeah, an interesting play call from them, and maybe a little uncharacteristic of Amaterasu, but still, I like the play. You are right. They're going to prevent that DDD comeback experience, maybe give it over in the form of a tree. Regrets finds a big knockout. They're carrying the Comfey now, and they get the chase down. Espeon is dodged with the Unite move as Talonflame engages, and Regrets all of a sudden is in the backline.
In the backline, Unite move doesn't hit anybody because the Unite move came out of the Espeon to kind of frame break that. So now Regrets isn't able to convert on the Unite move they just used, and Amaterasu is actually able to push here. Eggnoob linked up with the Sylveon. They're going to try and do some work and get as many of these Bs. Regrets crash lands, get a crop of those, and Amaterasu is still holding on to a decent lead, but GT getting good experience through the wild Pokemon. Don't let this Dodrio take out 2. Scyther Unite comes out. Let's see if they can convert.
Oh, Talonflame at a good time does find the knockout on a Trevenant. I don't care how high your defensive stats are, a critical hit from Talonflame does the right work. They do miss on Nudo, but the chase down is there. They find a Chaos Rika too.
Yeah, that fly was less to deal damage, more to close the gap so they could engage. So great work by Regrets there to make that happen. JL's on the chopping block next. That's a big time fly hitting right in the middle. Bliss Assistance picks them up, and now the Glaceon's coming through. Is the Comfy and the Talonflame going to be able to get it done? JL sits on the goal zone, tons of damage chipped in, but really what they're trying to do is leash them back into the Hyper Voice. It kind of works. Glaceon getting chipped in a little bit. Dodrio playing far forward. Can they snatch some berries? Do they have any HP? But here comes Nudo. Time to be a menace. The Egg Bomb's coming out. Glaceon Unite as well. Scyther takes out the Sylveon, and they're going to find another one. Dodrio goes down. The Comfy is going to go down. No, excuse me. The Comfy is carried on Regrets, who's going to make a dashing escape. A good little pick up there by them. Amaterasu's plans foiled, but just for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, you correct. Foiled. Time was bought, but in the end, Amaterasu has the receipts of victory. Registeel, the next objective, probably going to be the final Reggie, unless this one is knocked out in short order. Regieleki finding its way there, but Regrets on the engage and gets one.
Yeah, getting Glaceon down is great. JL is just getting eviscerated here. They're scrambling around. KO Shrika too. Regrets getting kind of big, which is exactly what you want. One thing I want to point out is the Trevenant Roland was able to leash that Registeel to buy time for the rest of Amaterasu to come down. And the way, because they did that, and Eggnoob going to get KO'd here. Good move by Yeet Fan. But what I was saying was Roland being able to leash that Registeel when it was 1-on-3 in the bottom path and being big enough to sustain the pressure from GT actually let all of Amaterasu to come back despite getting KO'd by Regrets and take that objective, Zoinks.
Ridiculous, you're correct. All this time being bought is just proving how big of a brain Roland truly has. I love what they've been able to do with this squad and this roster, because these little micro plays again and again are one of the things that Amaterasu has been utilizing to find such success. Now, Yeet Fan's been getting some great shots in. They were able to take out one, take out two, but you're right. Regrets is getting big. Now, level 13 on the Talonflame is impressive, but the level 14 on Nudo Scyther is terrifying. That stun, not quite enough. Fly is there for the escape, and Trainer is looking to finish the job.
Amaterasu posturing, and they really want Regrets. And that sure hit Icy Wind is dealing a ton of damage. Roland hits for the first Woodhammer back in the Rayquaza pit, but can't convert on the second. Amaterasu's they've got great positioning. They absolutely suss out Stockings and get a quick time KO. They're going to get all these birds in the middle as Regrets doesn't even have a shot at them. Still carrying the Comfy, which is nice. Can they get an engagement here? They crash land and miss the Glaceon, but here comes Eggnoob to buy some space. A huge chunk. Oh my god, Eggnoob, you legend. They don't even need to put up a wall. They stitched him right into the ruins of the map, and good look from GT, and that was a great KO to feed into your Talonflame right there.
Perfect geometry. Eggnoob playing with the Protractor in Unite right now. Amazing hit. Takes 3 of them into the wall, and that burst damage is something that Regrets can actually capitalize on. So Eggnoob, with a great play, is going to earn them this Regieleki for an incredibly low price of free, and now they can rotate down into the middle. However, Amaterasu does not care about that Regieleki whatever, despite them having a Dodrio, is actually looking to engage right now.
Nudo kind of gets caught out, and they're getting engaged. Spirit Fingers are out, and Eggnoob is trying to find Nudo. That's the KO they want. Dodrio engages deep across the map. Can they get Bliss Assistance just in time? The Scyther Unite comes out. That is huge in tandem. Eggnoob is getting chased down here. The pressure's on. The Dodrio's already down. They're catching bodies left and right. Nudo finally gets shield down, and Eggnoob is still standing somehow. As soon as I say that, they get engaged on, and Nudo gets the KO, making a KO streak of 2. Amaterasu is all over him. GT has 3 players down, and it's just Regrets carrying the Comfy. Let's see what they can do. They're trying to do Lord's work. Amaterasu is here to score. They don't care. Regrets crash lands and gets a KO on Trainer. They catch the corner of the wall. Are you kidding me? And the Espeon Unite catches them right back. Roland goes with the Woodhammer, chips a little bit, and gets the KO. Are you kidding me? You wanted a timing on a Woodhammer on a big time engager for GT. You just found it. Holy smokes. Roland is on one, and Amaterasu is poised to win.
Roland just survived a fly, a flame charge, and an auto attack, all while at a 5th of HP, I swear. Roland will outlast the apocalypse damn near. Now Rayquaza is only available for a minute. Amaterasu has over 100-point lead, if just barely, and they have positioning around the Rayquaza. The March Finals champions are looking to do it again, and they are in pole position to do so.
Is a Trevenant made of oak? I feel like it's made of oak. Yeet fan chipping in tons of damage here as GT's finding their way in. The Hyper Voice comes through. Roland finally gets chipped up and they get eviscerated. It's about time. Comfy with the KO there. That's a good one though. Spearfinger's already back. Egnoob getting the Unite move. They collapse on Glaceon. This might be a moment for them. They absolutely take it out. Scyther has to Unite right back though. 3 players down for Amaterasu. This is GT's moment. They need to find it. Egnoob getting chased down by the Cypher Flower Fields forever is where they were trying to battle. Nudo still looking for the engage. 2 players down. The Scyther's taking credit for both. That is a big Hyper Voice by Stocking. 4 players down for Amaterasu. They're going to scramble to score. Can Stockings get this in? I think that might do it. The Dodrio goes for their points, but they get chip shot for the KO. I don't know if they scored enough as long as they're trying again. The Trevenant Unite comes out, and I think Amaterasu just held on.
I gotta see that final score line. If Yeet Fan wins them the game by hiding in the tall grass and just surprise shotting Stockings, that is ridiculous. Amaterasu's main character moment may be happening, and it is 367 and 319. Amaterasu wins Unite Mice Mayhem 2-0 in the grand finals.
Jeez, oh Pete, just when you thought the story was done, GT scrambles for the score, and Amaterasu has one more trick up their sleeve.
Oh man, GT finally found their footing. Stockings and Lakoding absolutely popping off. Of course, Nudo doesn't leave the map without value. 11 knockouts, 3 of them within that final few moments to really make that thing close under the collar. Lakoding and Stockings are the ones standing at the end, but Yeet Fan there to be that final impassable object. 367 to 319. Ridiculous. No really shocking damage numbers. I think this one was all won by macro and timings and good spots, and Amaterasu looked like the better roster here right now.
They sure did. They sure did. GT with tons of signs of life. Amazing plays across the board. I mean, Egnoob with the Confusion Blast to set up Regrets was absolutely nasty in a pivotal moment of the game when Regrets was, you could tell they were chasing for KOs because they needed that comeback experience. They needed to get big to really give their team a chance. Egnoob pulls up for the smoke, big time Confusion Blast into the sidewall of the Ruins. Lets Regrets convert on one. And again, giving their teams an opportunity, a little bit of a sign of life to try and convert. That being said, Amaterasu took a big-time first fight, used that opportunity to go score points, set up for the re-engage. Great fight by GT, but an even better, way down the iceberg play by Yeet Fan to get that KO. Now, that was just, I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better.
No, absolutely not. Yeet Fan closing that one out. And Amaterasu wins it in 2-0 fashion. The scoreline at the end of this matchup doesn't look that close, but those 2 games really felt like they could go either way at certain points of the match. These are 2 of some of the most stacked rosters we have in North America. Now, we mentioned it. GT have made the decision to disband. However, that being said, we will probably be seeing these players scattered throughout more rosters in the future. They are all incredible. Who knows? They may end up sticking together after all. It's Unite. Anything can happen. So I am looking forward to it. But one thing we do have to mention before we head anywhere is Unite Mike's Mayhem is brought to you by Kinda Fit, Kinda Fat, an amazing body positive workout or sportswear apparel like you just mentioned. They have an awesome online store full of incredible swag. And if you want to go check it out, use Unite Mike's at checkout. It is a 10% discount. And they have been so kind to sponsor the prize pool for this event. So thank you to Kinda Fit, Kinda Fat for our sponsor. Please go check them out. Exclamation mark KFKF in chat if you want that link.
Please go check them out. The very least we can do is give their website some traffic. If you do find something you like, of course, use our promo code. Ultimately, to keep grassroots streams going, we need sponsors. And for sponsors to see any value and continue doing that, you kind of have to spend money. That's how it works. And I'm not saying you have to buy something even if you don't like anything, but if you do happen to like something, keep it in the back of your mind that it's a great way to keep Unite Mike's Mayhem coming back for a season 4. And, you know, a tip of the cap as a thank you for putting their faith in us to allow us to bring this event. The other thing we have to plug, Zoinks, before we cut everybody loose, here at Unite Mics, we do an emote initiative. If you subscribe to us or use your Amazon Prime sub for the Twitch channel, We don't keep any of the money. We donate the money at the end of every month. We post the receipts on Twitter. We try to choose charities that Zoinks and I believe in at the end of each month to do so. So just know that if you're throwing your Bezos bucks our way, or you like our sub emotes, Hundo Burgers, Ducats, Overdunk, go ahead and feel comfortable with your sub and know that that money is not lining our pockets. It is going to a good cause at the end of every month. It's something we're super proud of. We're not trying to make a ends meet over here. We're not trying to pay our mortgage with Unite Mics. We're just trying to bring as much Unite content to the folks at home as we can, because we love it and we love you all. So there you go. Bang.
So true. And as a reminder, Night Mike's Mayhem rages on next week, March 22nd. We will have 4 brand new teams, but on March 29th, it will be our finals night. Last season's champions TTV will be squaring off against last week's winners of Team YouTube and this week's winners of Team Amaterasu. And of course, they will have one more competitor chosen next week. So March 22nd, March 29th, same time, same place, you know where to be. Also, shout out to Gamma on the observing amazing camera work and all the games as always, and thank you to Psyche for moderating and giving out all those cool codes. Look for that to continue into the next 2 following weeks as well. But I think that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Unite Mike's Mayhem. This was an absolute blast. The games were incredible, and I cannot wait until next week. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.